Alright, welcome back everyone to Halo Reach.
Noble leader, seek
We've reached
immediate medical attention.
the last mission.
Noble leader, please respond.
Apparently at some point Noble Leader got shot while he was flying.
Please respond. Sierra 259. You are alarming me.
Not sure how long she's gonna stay together. Skies are jammed up anyway. Gotta get you off her, Lieutenant.
Sir,
You don't want to hear it. Get the package to the Autumn.
done.
Not yet, it's not. Emil, go with him. It's a ground game now.
It's been an honor, sir.
Likewise. I'll do what I can to draw their fire. 6. That AI chose you. She made the right choice.
So there's a line that I've been thinking about,
On my mark.
particularly as I have played this game.
Mark!
Also my color, for some reason, of my armor was blue there for a second. Didn't change my armor color at all this entire playthrough. Anyways, get back to my point. There's a line in Halo 3 that they talk about. I'm not 100%. I feel like in some ways the ending of this game may have been changed because they didn't, basically they wanted you to just be a random Spartan. They didn't want you to be the Master Chief, if you will. So there is some implications that, the going solo thing is not just a hint and a nod to the nature of Halo 1 through 3. But in Halo 3, she has this line that says, you know why I chose you. Of all the Spartans, they were all brave and strong, So why did I pick you of all the Spartans? Because you had something the others lacked. It was luck. And that works really well for Master Chief. Particularly insofar as the way the rest of the other games 1, 2, 3 go, you sort of get this feeling that Cortana and Master Chief knew each other. And I think they retcon that later on in such a way that they know each other for other reasons aside from what exactly is going on, but what they originally had designed, I think. I don't know. I've never read the Halo Bible. I've never read design documents or any of that jazz. But just that one line from Halo 3, of all the Spartans, I chose you. And do you know why? Because you have luck. And you get this moment right now in this game here. Last level, where, Halsey tells you that, that Cortana picked you to be her carrier, to carry her to the Pillar of Autumn. Or, Pillar of Autumn? I think it's Pillar of Autumn. Anyways. And that line, along with the fact that you are amongst the 4 remaining Spartans chosen to bring her to her destination, makes me think that perhaps, you were supposed to be Master Chief and they just called you Noble 6 because that was your number. And it's sort of kind of a little bit of a misdirection for the fan base, thinking, well, this is just some random Spartan. And you could easily write, and we'll get to the end of the game here as if you've never played this game before, but you'll get to the end of this game and there'll be a point where the, Keys will give you an opportunity to leave Reach and join him on the ship, and you choose to stay behind because, again, you're just a random Spartan played by the player character. You're the player character played by the, the person behind the controller. But they could have easily done some different stuff here where And again, I don't really know what the original intention was, if they made changes late in development, or this was always the design of the game, and they're just trying to use what you know from Halos 1, 2, and 3 to make you think, oh yeah, this guy must be Master Chief, when in reality, like I said, he's not. And again, I'm not, like I said, not sure if it's a misdirection or some changes they made in the storyline towards the end. But it does give you the feeling that, yes, you are supposed to be, Master Chief here. Mainly from, like I said, that line that Cortana gives, where, in a way, you're chosen amongst the other 4 Spartans, you know, who are all so brave and strong and courageous, you know. And, you know, and then basically, since you, the Noble Six, are not Master Chief, unless there's some sort of hidden ending for beating the epilogue without dying or something, which I don't think is possible. I think what happens is if you survive long enough, they just glass the planet and you die anyways. But if for some reason you're able to survive that, I don't think you magically take a boat and join, or ship and join the Pillar of Autumn in space. So basically, get to the point of my story here. Very long-winded way of saying, you know, supposedly Cortana chose Master Chief, but Master Chief, if you know the way the story falls or moves out, basically Master Chief is already asleep on the Pillar of Autumn. So there is some stuff that canonically doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, at least as far as I read it. You know. Now, mind you, I understand Halo 3 comes before Halo Reach. But you have to, I mean, because Bungie still made this game. This was the last game they made before they split off and chose to go make Dynasty, or what is it called? Not Dynasty. Boy, I can't remember what it's called now. There's 2 of them. They made a first game, it was online multiplayer, and then they made a sequel. I don't know. Anyways. So yes, we are going to do the coward's way of doing this, which is basically I'm going to stand behind this pillar so that the Wraith can't see me, and I will just pick everyone off with my long range, mostly accurate shots. So, what else? I mean, I didn't, like, going into this game, I didn't necessarily want Noble Six to be Master Chief. I kind of wanted him to be his own separate thing. And I kind of understand that, you know, Master Chief is supposed to be sort of the last of the original Spartans. You know. I have sort of conflicted feelings on sort of the way they laid out this story to sort of try to either trick or, you know, basically pull the wool over the, you know, the fan base's eyes so that they don't, you know, they don't know immediately, or, you know, day 2 the game comes out, you know, the internet forums are going, I knew it was Master Chief all along. You know, in a way I kind of wish they was connected, but at the same time, I understand why, you know, this long stretch of, you know, this tragedy goes on, and basically the only one who gets off the planet is the one that went with Dr. Halsey, provided he doesn't, you know, die in some, like I said, some novel I've never read. That's kind of the nice thing about expanded universe lore, is that if you really into a particular sci-fi genre like Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever, you can get a good, you know, you can eat up the books and get more of that lore and get more of that storyline that you so desperately want. At the same time, it kind of gives you that a little bit of an out. You know, I know Star Wars did a better job of this than maybe some other franchises. I'm not 100% sure. But basically, everything that was written in Star Wars Expanded Universe books is supposed to be canon, at least until Disney decided they're buying it from Lucas and that he was going to turn everything, and they were going to turn everything into non-canon so they could rewrite the post episode 6 lore that had been pretty well established through the books that occurred. It's weird what they chose to let go and what they chose to keep. Like, one of the things that the books did really well. Not that I've really read them, but I know sort of the overarching storyline from listening to other videos about the Star Wars universe. But one of the interesting things is that even though at the end of 6, Palpatine's supposed to be dead, and basically you're moving forward with a new republic, you know, and it deals with sort of the fringe leftovers of the Empire, and you very much see the cycle of Jedi and Sith continue, even though essentially the Sith have been wiped out. You know, the teaching still exists. You know, the holograms or something. You know, the information still exists, and people are still going to have hatred in their heart. You know, these things are not going to go away. And so you get, you know, Jedi Master Luke, who's sort of leading the rebuild of the Jedi Order, which will include, but is not limited to, not only Leia, children, but also I believe Luke has children at some point. Which, again, not really super concerned with the overall storyline, the overall way that goes, but you know, again, the way this storyline continues, it's not really sort of this, well, you know, the Empire survives. Of course it's going to survive, but it survives, and Palpatine doesn't die, and Rey is a, you know, there's a character named Rey, and there's a character named whatever, and I don't know. I think some things were kind of overblown and overdone.
Come on, folks. We can get past this, sir.
No, you can't. Not without help.
Commander, you don't have the firepower.
I've got the math.
Silent cop. Hit him hard, boss.
You're on your own, Noble. Carter out.
I suppose if I was going to die anyways, and I could choose to like kamikaze,
Crevice
I'd
to
be-
the east.
that'd be a pretty good way of going out, but I don't know. You don't fall off the edge, Chris. I just very much believe that when you write stuff and you're going to make it part of the lore, I understand we can all lie, but like, if it's going to be like an important piece of like lore, ideally don't lie about it. Ideally don't try to retcon it. You know? It just kind of leaves too many questions in my mind. And some of it has to do, I know, in terms of, particularly with either television shows or video games, is that the writers kind of get a bug up their ass and they don't want you to be able to predict the end. They say, well, if our ending is clearly being too predictable, what we're going to have to do is we're just going to have to create a twist at the end. And then no one will see that coming. Of course not, because instead of creating a cause and effect situation where all of the events that the hero or villain or characters have gone through have an effect. Everything has a to and a fro, a back and a go. Sorry, I had to do that. But everything has its for every action there's a reaction. And it doesn't have to be like in science. It doesn't have to be an equal opposite reaction, because some people are going to look at a situation differently. Some people are going to be like, nah, we got to throw down, and others are going to be like, no, let's try to do a diplomatic solution to our problems. I get that. But when you decide that, well, we're just going to ignore everything you was leading up to this, and we're just going to basically say that's not important anymore, or forget about that, pretend you didn't hear it. I don't know. I can't do it. It's too difficult for me to ignore. Nice. Like how you hit him in the head, they explode. Makes me happy. Man, I couldn't wish that would have blown you to smithereens. Fuck you. Between their eyeballs.
Roger that. Clear.
Spartans, over here!
This is Captain Keyes of the Pillar of Autumn. We are tracking you, Noble, and we've begun our launch sequence. Proceed to dry dock, platform D. I'll be on it myself to receive the package. Better be, soldier, because my countdown is no abort.
There's no abort, but you have sort of infinite time to get there because this is a game. And they're not expecting you to be able to beat necessarily this in 30 seconds. So, and I understand the game, in terms of a real battle, it would change. So, if you were able to suddenly get to your destination to deliver the package, in say 10 minutes versus 20 minutes, you're going to have a different response because you got there so fast. And at the same time, I don't know. I mean, you'd have a different, different reinforcements coming in. If they're losing the battle, they'll probably call in for reinforcements. If you manage to sneak by them, they may not realize that, I don't know how intelligent or how into it, all of these commanders are in terms of, are they trying to get the package that I'm carrying on my back, i.e. Cortana, or are they just sort of fighting me for, they're trying to take this location and we just happen to be in their way. But anyways, Glad I wasted that whole round and didn't kill anything. There's, finally got him. Yeah, so we're gonna have to just basically baby this, which is, you know, overload their shield, shoot them in the head. Overload their shield, shoot them in the head. It's not like... Yep, that was a mistake. I'm gonna say, it's not like these fucking plasma pistols aren't in abundant supply in every game. Bastard. I'm gonna run you over. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong side. We don't need to. We're gonna move this truck, but I don't need to move this truck. I just want to do it because it's funny. Well, I think it's funny anyways.
So far. Tac eval?
We got this facility covered from all angles. We'll give you covering fire, take the flank. There has to be a way around.
We'll find. You just keep them busy.
You got it, sir.
Anyway,